Konnan, did you watch AEW?
Yes, I did.
Okay, Joe, what was the number? I figured it would probably be going down this week because it spiked last week, but the show really had a lot of episodic stuff going on that I don't think a lot of people are interested in. So
right, it went down. It was actually.
Why don't you already have this written down, Joe?
I sent it to Disco, but I guess he didn't see it.
I did see it, but we like asking you, Joe, because
you're never prepared.
You're a news source.
It gives us a chance to bury you.
Right.
Just write it down and have it ready.
Yeah. 833,000.
Yeah, I was like, why is this? I opened the article and it's showing me Rampage.
So yeah, that's it. Bro, let me ask Joe, go back and look. Is that lower than the not the last week, but the 2 weeks before that, before last week?
First of all, was it lower than last week?
It was way lower.
Yes,
it
was. Yeah.
Yeah, because last week did the 900 with the Vinkingo.
Oh, that's
and then this week is back down to normal. So it starts off with Jungle Boy Jack Perry against Matt Hardy. This match went through a commercial. They did the picture in the picture.
So
Hardy had what's his name out there with him? Ethan Page. Okay, yeah. So the what's her name? The referee looks like an idiot here. They keep when Aubrey Edwards gets when they do the referee distractions, they're like every time they do them, they make the referee look like an imbecile. You know, like they need to tighten that up because they're the timing's off when people are coming up, and so it's just like it's not good. So so Paige climbed up in the apron, and Aubrey embarked at Aubrey Edwards about her 2 count. Then Hook came out. Then Paige and Hook fought at ringside. Then Hardy went to the floor and held Hook. Then Paige threw a punch that Hook ducked and ended up hitting Hardy. So Paige punched Hardy. Then Perry performed a suicide dive into Hardy. Then back in the ring, Hardy stuffed a top rope move from Perry, who then stuffed a side effect. And then Perry eventually performed a flatliner, then hit Hardy with the running elbow to the back of the head and scored the pin. The false finish interjected in there by Matt Hardy was kind of unnecessary. When they did the spot the ringside where Paige hit him, they should have rolled in and Perry did his moves and beat him. I thought that was I don't know. I didn't like that little sequence of events there. That they had to put a false finish in there for some ridiculous reason. So then MJF comes in.
So let's talk about your ratings question too. March 1st also did 833, but February 15th was 824, which I think that's the low.
February 15th. That's like 3. Bro, you're getting your weeks on March 1st.
Yeah,
bro. Joe.
2 weeks ago was 858. It wasn't below 833. That's all.
Okay, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, March 8th.
Which is what?
858. 858,000.
Wait, so that's 850. Okay, and then so what was it the week after the 858?
852.
Oh, okay, 852. All right, cool. So they were below the weeks before it went up and spiked to 900,000 and so, right?
Yep, drop back down.
Yeah. Well,
it went up to 954.
Bro, there's they don't hook you with any of the episodic stuff to like get you really interested in what's going to happen. Like are you interested in next week? And it's like you're not interested until they start announcing the matches, which is not the way you're supposed to book a wrestling show. So then MJF comes out, and this was a very, very, very long promo segment that followed a match. But I don't even know what to say. He was just burying him, mocked him for hanging out with Marco Stunt, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. He said they could run AEW together, but Perry had to be the nice guy for the fans. Said 3 years later, he's the champ, while Perry's still the Jungle Boy. He thought they would be friends. And Perry said he wished he could talk like MJF and have his conference and not care about people. But then he got in MJF's face and said he wished he didn't care about being the most narcissistic piece of shit on the entire planet. Bro, the only time Perry gets a pop is when he cusses in his promos. Perry said it's not him. He said that when he beats MJF, he won't wake up alone every day and hate the person he sees in the mirror. He dropped the mic. And MJF said it was good and told the crowd to give it up for Jungle Boy and said it only took Perry 4 years to learn how to talk. That was actually a good line. He said there was a time when he thought they could have been friends or partners, but not anymore because Perry's a massive disappointment. And MJF claimed Perry's hot pet girlfriend Anna Jade told him that Perry is weak between the knees. That got Perry mad and they fought. And Perry put him down and stomped him in the corner. And he went for his finisher, but MJF fled the ring. What did you think of this, Konnan?
I thought the match was better than I expected. I bet you Jungle Boy never thought he'd be beating Matt Hardy when he first started in AEW. Kind of weird to see. Matt's still over. The delete thing is over. And I think if and when Jeff comes back, they should do the Broken Universe again because that's still over, bro. You know, they still say delete. They
do, right.
And I think if they did all those cool, funny videos, that's different than anything they do on the show and probably would be better. It'll get him over again.
Bro, but they're missing a very key ingredient in that.
Yeah, Jeff. Oh, Barry.
Borash.
What's Borash? But yeah, bro.
Right.
But they learned from Borash, and they could probably do their own.
Right.
It wasn't just all him. I'm sure that there was some collaboration by the other guys. But yeah, you're missing Borash 1,000%. I'm not a big fan of baby faces doing promos where they describe their flaws, like, oh, I'm not as confident as you. I'm not a good talker of you as you. Kind of worked here. But I'm not into this feud. That's the only problem. I'm not into this. It's not believable. I don't think him and Jungle Boy they would have been friends to rule AEW. And this is just me, and maybe I'm being over analytical or over anal. I just think Jungle Boy's gimmick, the loincloth and the other thing, I think that's a little cheesy right now. I think he should put something on a little cooler. He's like a famous actor's son. He should dress cooler, I think. But maybe it's cool that I don't know. I'm not a.
Looks closely like he lives in the woods behind the house.
Right. Right.
Right. So this, I love Don Callis, right? But this to me is like old school silly stuff. Marvez entered Kenny's dressing room. He was preparing for his match while Don Callis and a trainer stood by. Callis said he lost his balance while he was in the ring with Hangman Page last week and asked Omega why I assumed Page got physical with him. And Callis said he was going to find Page and apologize for everything. This, bro, the way they're doing this is making Kenny Omega look like a dope. You had to know what would happen.
I think what they're doing is that, and I think they did a real good job of this. Of hey, remember before he went up to wrestle, Tony Schiavone came up to him and told him something. What was it that he told him?
I don't know.
Remember that you'll read it in a minute. He told him something right before he went into his match. So he was worried going into his match because he was thinking about, I think he's all over the place and he's not really thinking, if Don's him or not, because he's too busy with other more important things on his head,
I'm not.
But you'll see, once we come to the Tony Schiavone thing, you'll see.
Hey, footage. So
I like Don. Weird. I think he always delivers.
This was weird. Okay, what did I miss in this? I know that the Matt Menard and Angela Parker have been wanting to recruit the Acclaimed, but they showed footage of them. They were out all together with Billy Gunn partying at a St. Louis Blues game, and they all had a meal together, and Parker asked them to make a decision regarding their offer to join the Jericho Appreciation Society, and Bowen said they would announce their decision next week. And, bro, this was done like they were all having a great time together, and I'm like, when did I miss? Was there something on Rampage or the other? I don't know why they were so happy together. That didn't make a lot of sense, did it?
No, that just seemed very thrown together just to people. I would love for them to join the Jericho Appreciation Society, but they won't because it's too many people and they don't need to join them.
Right.
So why did you even do this? Just so next week you can say, no, we're not joining you?
Right. So Dalton Castle and the boys make their entrance, and they get jumped by the Blackpool Combat Club at the entrance. They get been pretty... Bro, ever since I've been picking on him, have you noticed that Wheeler Utah's is looking a lot better?
Yes.
He looks more physical and violent in his
offense. I think the main thing he did is, once he grew a beard, he looked like looking from 15 to 25.
Well, bro, when they're doing
maybe
the beatdowns,
Soho should grow a beard or whatever.
When they're doing the beatdowns, he's looking like the toughest guy in the group. Because Moxley's not really laying anything in, and kind of like his work looks light out there.
Well, you might want to ask Don about that because he busted him open, didn't he?
Well, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
So they beat them in 45 seconds. Actually, those two little the boys, Dalton Castle's boys.
Is it true that used to be one of the boys?
No, that's not true.
Okay.
But bro, those guys take pretty good bumps.
Yeah.
Like they know how to work, So.
And they look nice in shorts with no shirts on.
So the Blackpool Combat Club is attacking everybody. So then Hangman Page was interviewed by Tony Schiavone, and Page said Nick Jackson suffered a dislocated shoulder while Matt had a partially torn biceps. And Schiavone asked who attacked the duo last week, and Page assumed it was the Blackpool Combat Club. Then Don Callis showed up and apologized to Page. Then Moxley and Utah and those guys, the Blackpool Combat Club, attacked Page and left him laying. Then Callis tried to play nice, but Moxley dropped him with a forearm to the side of the head that caused Don Callis to get busted open on his forehead somehow. But Don Callis got him.
I think he bladed himself.
I
do, bro. Because if he would have hit the floor, he would have been knocked out or something. He wouldn't have been selling like he was. I actually think old school Don said, you know what, hit me so hard and I'll juice myself real quick.
Right, and he didn't tell anybody.
Right.
He was going to do.
And Don, if you are interested, I will send you an Addicted to the Blade T-shirt gratis if you will.
Get this.
Not
Well,
interested.
we should
Bro,
spend-
he's not a
No.
mark like you.
Give me your address.
He's not a mark like you and the other guys. So why are you doing this?
All right, so Kenny Omega is wrestling Jeff Cobb now for the IWGP US Championship, and I didn't realize Kenny Omega was the IWGP US
Neither
Champion,
did I.
which I couldn't care less about, to be honest with you. But it's kind of weird, like they're doing this. They got this storyline. The Blackpool Combat Club is going around beating people up. They beat up the Young Bucks, and it's like I would have made that kind of like a focal point for Kenny and those guys to address. It's just like, well, I just got a match tonight, and I don't know. It's like the matchups they have on this show are kind of like you wouldn't expect if they were doing like soap opera storytelling with these storylines, because like I don't know why these guys are fighting for the IWGP title on this show. Just I don't know. I guess they're doing the Forbidden Door and stuff. So, but Kenny wins. Good, good Japanese style match. And after the match, the Claudio guys come in and surround the Blackpool Combat Club surrounds the ring. Bryan Danielson comes in and tells everybody to stand down. Willow Utah tries to jump up on the apron, and Kenny goes after him. And then when he turns around, Danielson hits him with the running knee, and they beat him up, put him in a hold. They beat up the security guys trying to come in the ring, and Michael Nakazawa and the Blackpool Combat Club stands tall and raise their hand with Bryan Danielson, and they're all heels. What did you think of this?
I thought it was a good chance to bring back Danielson as a face. I don't know why they did that turn. The match will be incredible. Maybe they're just trying to get a great match, against two of the greatest wrestlers of the last 10 years. But yeah, I would have had him team up with Kenny, but maybe Kenny's going to team up with the Young Bucks. I don't know.
Right. So then they go backstage and they do a recap of the Austin.
So maybe that's what it is. It's Kenny, the Young Bucks, and Adam Page versus Moxley and Danielson and the other two. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, honestly though, it's like they're just setting this up for like an 8-on-8.
Right.
And like I think all the right for 4-on-4, right. And I'm just like, bro, there's like way more storytelling you could do if these guys were doing like singles competitions against each other. I don't know. It's just like it seems like just a way just to throw the match together and like the Elite versus those guys. It's like, oh my god, that's gonna be it. But it's like the storytelling here is just like, all right, then we're just gonna attack them, and now we're gonna have a match, which is like every other angle they do on the show.
Yeah.
So Austin Gunn and Colton, the Guns are backstage and burying the FTR, taking them to.
That was a good promo.
They got a lot of personality, these guys. They keep saying it. They're very charismatic, and they got good facials, and they're very convincing when they talk.
Right.
Like they're good on the mic, you know. So, and they're burying FTR in these promos. Like, but poor FTR is like, it's like they can't hang with these guys in the mic.
They've had no comeback yet. Yeah.
Not really. Yeah. They've all been like nice guys. They give us, they get spit in their faces and stuff. They have to go over. Like the FTR has to go over,
especially since I think they retire if they don't. So
right. So yeah. Okay. So next was Orange Cassidy versus the Butcher for the AEW International title. Bro, they put these matches on where everybody knows what the finish is going to be. Like there's no. This should be a dark, like on AEW Dark. Like Orange Cassidy versus the Butcher. Why is this on the main show?
Right. Not only that, and why does the Butcher come out with Blade, but Orange Cassidy doesn't come out with the best friends until the end?
Yeah. So he goes over. The best friends come out, and whatever. So, so then this is where this storyline is. So Taya comes in. She obviously looks like a very impressive, formidable opponent for Jade Cargill because she looks like $1 million and is bigger than Jade Cargill. Is she bigger than Jade, or are they like the same size? I know Ty weighs more, right?
Yeah,
she's
I
like
think they're about
thicker.
the same size.
Okay. Well, they're doing this stupid angle with these two when you could be more serious, But Jade Cargill, Mark Stern, and Layla Gray, a woman who was holding their cease and desist order, were there. And Cargill said Taya Valkyrie is a problem. She complained that Valkyrie not only ignored the cease and desist regarding her use of the same finishing move as Cargill, but she performed the move on Sterling and Gray. Cargill said the woman is his legal processor, and she would serve Valkyrie with an official court order. Cargill said she's the only goddess in AEW and the rest of her crew and told the rest of her crew to get the job done. How ridiculous is this?
Yeah, the whole legalese thing is stupid. First of all, because Mark Sterling is always treated as a buffoon. Okay,
right.
So why do you believe that he'd be a better lawyer? And nobody believes that whole legalese. Why are you even including it?
It's so goofy, right? Cease and desist court orders,
right?
Like there's gonna a grand jury was going to deliberate and say, well, we're gonna give a cease and desist because you're doing the same wrestling move.
Right.
All right, so Ricky Starks should be elevated on the card.
Yes.
We had an interview for this guy Juice Robinson. Now I'd seen Juice Robinson cut good promos in New Japan,
Right.
and he was a completely different character than this guy that's playing like kind of like looks like a crackhead.
He looked like, who he reminds me of? What's the alter ego of Mitch Valentine?
Mitch Manslaughter.
That guy.
Bro, this guy's promos are so corny that it's like
manslaughter.
You're watching this guy's promos and you're saying to yourself, why are they dragging Ricky Sparks down?
Well, at least this was better than the last promo he did because that was Limburger cheese PU bad.
Ruby Soho versus Willow Nightingale. Interesting in this match, there was a Death Valley. Willow hit Soho with a Death Valley driver that looked like she almost broke Soho's neck. Like she just like instead of like taking her over, she kind of like spiked her a little bit, which looked like it could have really messed her up. But Ruby goes over. After the match, the heels attack the Willow. This is so weird. What did you think of this? So,
well, I was
after
thinking.
Let me say what happens. Let me tell you what happens. So the heels are the Storm, Saraya, and Riho and Soho are beating down on Willow. Okay. Soho went to ref Willow's like in a chair. Then Riho and Sky Blue ran out and tried to fight the heels, but they just got pummeled right away.
Right.
Like they offered no fight. Okay, so they set up the Riho to be spray painted. Okay, so then Jamie Hayter comes out running down, and Sheila was on fire here.
Right.
Because she slammed Soho with the knee, and then she was throwing smoke. It looked like she was trying. When she threw that short arm clothesline and stumbled into the ropes, it looked like she was trying to kill her. That's how you get over. You show fire. You look like you're really there to fight, which is what she looked like. Then this is hysterical. So Riho gets up. They shake hands and Riho is standing in front of her doing the belt sign, and it looked like a little 9-year-old girl, like joking in front of an adult woman, like she was gonna like take her belt. Was the visual there? What did you think of that visual?
Yeah, same thing, bro. She had like under her skirt, it looked like those bloomers they were in the early 1900s.
Nice,
and she just looks like a little girl, like a 9-year-old girl,
Right.
She's like 70 pounds, really small, hard to take her seriously. And then I heard she was a former champion. I forgot all of that.
Guess what I heard?
Right.
I've read this on Twitter. I had no clue. Major League pitcher Yu Darvish.
Yeah.
Bro, he dates a girl in Japan that's one of their Japanese wrestling that's the champion of one of the Japanese wrestling organizations.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Joe, look that up. Yu Darvish wife. All right.
But what I did like is like during the match, because they always bring people out and they never do anything. I like when Soraya got on the apron and just need the out of Willow. Like at least she's doing something. But what I don't understand is this. Ruby goes out there, right? And she's out there with Toni Storm, who looks ridiculously very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes out with the other girl. It was Toni and Soraya went out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Riho and the other girl are probably backstage looking. Why aren't you going out with Willow? Why do you wait to the end when they put the chair on your leg? Makes no sense.
None.
So he's married to Seiko Yamamoto.
Mm-hmm.
She was an Olympic wrestler, actually, and she is a 4-time world champion and 2-time Asian wrestling champion.
Oh, so she's a shoot wrestling champion.
Yeah, Olympics, yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so next... Konnan, I want to hype the matches for Rampage. Rampage, you want to hear them?
Yep.
Sammy Guerrero versus Takeshita.
Right.
The Best Friends versus Malachi Black and Brody King.
Right.
Taya Valkyrie versus Marina Shafir. And Juice Robinson versus Action Andretti. So poor Action Andretti's push is done.
Okay, so the first 2 matches, at least, they're interesting. The other 2 aren't.
All right, so they're getting...
you're not interested in Taya versus Marina Shafir? I think that'll be...
Why would I be?
No.
I think that'd be a good mesh, those two,
No,
okay, so you put a veteran against a girl who's very green.
Right. And you're to get her ready for the...
Taya could lead her through it,
Oh, she could.
I mean, let's be honest with you. There's literally no reason why, like this feud with Riho and stuff everything. Bro, these girls, Saraya and stuff everything, they should be getting in Jade Cargill's face. It's there's more star power in those girls going up against like the other stars. You know, it's like I don't know. It's kind of very weird how they position the women on the card, and that like Like Jade Cargill has her own set of like it's like two different books. It's like Jade Cargill's in one book and these girls are in another book, and it's like there's no chance of anybody intertwining or working against each other. I don't. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Does seem that way.
Right. Adam Cole against Daniel Garcia. Bro, I didn't. Okay, after the match, he wins the match. There's not a single person that thought he was going to lose, right? So after the match, the referee checks on Cole, who was selling his neck, and Britt Baker walks out, and they hugged and kissed, and then black and gold confetti was shot off. And then Cole went to the ropes and played to the crowd. He smiled while holding the back of his neck, and I'm like thinking, like, bro, why is this such like an epic scene? Because the guy is working, but I mean, think about it.
Big return match.
Yeah, but big return from 2 concussions.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a weird way to celebrate returning from 2 concussions. Like, it's like I didn't get this. So then afterwards, this is the big angle they had. Jericho walks down and like grabs Garcia and brings him back, and like twice while he was walking to the back, he stopped and like glared over his left shoulder, like looking back at Adam Cole. And then did you notice that, Konnan, that's what they were doing?
I was thinking to myself when I saw that, were they in the booking meeting? It sounded better there than when they did it, because when they executed, it looked like it meant nothing. It was not climactic, and I think they're thinking, okay, so you shoot me and I'm going up the ramp and I'm looking and you say, oh, what is Jericho thinking about it? Let's plant that. Whatever they went through, whatever they thought of, whatever they wrote, did not look good at the end. It made me not be interested in watching them fight each other. Jericho should have gone in there and tore the shit out of him. She, maybe threatened to hit the girl, but she rolls out or something. I don't know. Maybe Teo Mello or whatever. Sammy Guevara's wife came out and beat her up.
There's no reason to do like a slow burn here with this. It's like, dude, Cole's been out forever. They played up his return for like 4 straight weeks on TV.
Stomp a mud hole in his ass. So you came out
just something. Just to give him
just to roll Daniel Garcia out and put him up, and walk him to the back.
To beat Daniel Garcia and then play, but throw a bunch of confetti like it was a big win. It's like it's like you didn't beat the champ, you beat Daniel Garcia. It's kind of just very strange, how they like the sensibilities.
Well, it wasn't because he beat Daniel Garcia, but it was like his comeback. It was it was a bit too much, but that's know. But I was more concerned with just Jericho walking out there and I thought, oh wow, Jericho's back. This is cool. Maybe they're gonna go on the mic. Maybe he's gonna attack him. Right. No, he rolled them out, took the confetti off of him, and then walked them to the back. I was like, okay, and.
Stopped and looked over his shoulder and glared back without making eye contact.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like that's a big epic scene, All right, but that's been our AEW review. Actually, so the show was like, I don't know. It's just like it's like I said, the show is all over the place. I don't know what exactly the storylines are. Except like every week the heels just get heat on people and people come out to save them, and then I don't know. It's just like nothing.
Well, look, we're obviously gonna see Combat Club versus Omega and his boys. That'll be good. We're going to see Jack Perry and MJF. I'm still not really into that feud. Okay. What else do we got here? Anything else?
Not really. I mean, are you interested in anything that Orange Cassidy's probably going to have another match against a random guy next week again?
Right.
And
there was a the big, girls thing would be good, but I'm not into Riho or
Riho makes it look like how do you take it seriously when Riho walks out there?
Right.
Like with all these other girls that look like they would kill her with their bare, every girl in that ring looks like they would kill Riho with their bare hands. You know,
I like the 3 heels, all 3 of them. Right. But I'm not into Riho or.
Well, they get their shit in too, and Jamie Hayter gets her shit. I like these girls that throw smoke out there and look like they can fight. It's a welcome addition on the show. So.